Hello and welcome to Science with Miss Cleveland. Hi guys, how are you? I miss you so much and I love you guys so much and I hope I get to see y'all soon. I cannot believe it is already May. Oh my gosh, time is flying. Slow down, time. All right, guys, this week in science, we are going to continue with our life cycles unit and we're going to discuss more about the dragonfly's life cycle compared to a lady beetle's life cycle. Okay, so let's get started. I have a couple diagrams for you guys that we're going to fill out together. Okay, so let's start with the dragonfly life cycle. We're going to start filling out all of the stages, all the phases that they go through. Okay, notice there's only A, B, and C. That tells me that there's probably 3 stages of a dragonfly's life cycle, whereas the lady beetle has A, B, C, and D. That tells me that there's probably 4 stages. Okay, so let's look at stage A or phase A. Okay, I see an adult laying eggs. Let me make this font smaller so it's easier to write. So this adult is laying its eggs. Okay, and if you look underneath it, you can see the eggs here. Once those eggs hatch, they become what is called a nymph. And it's kind of a funky word. N-Y-M-P-H. Okay, if you notice, because we all know that the very last phase is going to be the adult phase, if you notice, the nymph kind of looks like the adult when it's completely grown up. Okay, what it's missing are its wings. Its body's a little bit fatter, okay? Still has those segments like the adult does, but it's not quite the same. So I would say that more so, it does not resemble the adult. The nymph stage does not resemble the adult, okay? In order for it to start resembling the adult, it has to go through what's called a molt, okay? Where it sheds its exoskeleton, gonna molt, and it's gonna shed its exoskeleton a few times before it officially is considered an adult. Okay, once it sheds its final molt, it gets rid of it and then it turns into a beautiful dragon. Okay, so there are 3 phases. There's the eggs, okay, then the nymph, it goes through its molt, and then it becomes an adult. So there are 3 phases of a dragonfly's life cycle. Now let's compare it to the lady beetle. Okay, as we know, it's gonna start off as eggs. Okay, then it's gonna go through what's called its larval stage. Stage. Okay, it's also called a larva. But this entire process, because it goes through a couple of phases, just like the nymph in the with the dragonfly, it goes through a couple different molts. It goes through a couple different changes in its larval stage. Okay, from there, it then becomes what's called a pupa, and it starts to go through its metamorphosis. Okay, notice how the larva stage looks nothing at all like the adult stage. Okay, let's go ahead and label adult stage. Okay, so they have that in common. The nymph stage and the larval stage look nothing like the adult stage. Okay, and here we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 different stages, 4 different phases of the lady beetle cycle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys help me compare their life cycles using one of these. Do you guys remember what this is called? Think about it. That's right, it's called a Venn diagram. Okay, and how we use a Venn diagram is there are 2 circles that are laid on top of each other. Okay, if you notice here, this is where both circles intersect. So this is where okay, this is where we are going to put everything that the dragonfly and the lady beetle have in common. This is where their similarities, say that 10 times fast, their similarities are going to be. Okay, here outside of the middle part is going to contain all the information about a dragonfly that is not similar to a lady beetle and vice versa. Okay, everything that a lady beetle goes through or everything about a lady beetle that is not similar to a dragonfly is going to go just in the lady beetle section. Okay, so let's go through it. Let's start with our word bank. We have a word bank down here. Let's start with A. Okay, where do you think A is going to go? If we think back to the slide that we were just on, egg, both of these have eggs. They both lay eggs. It doesn't matter where, but they do have that in common. Okay, so if they have that in common, I'm going to put this in the middle underneath the similarities section. Okay, let's think about B, the larva stage. I'm going to refer back to the slide before. Where do you guys see larva or larval stage? Right here in the lady beetle's life cycle. Okay, it's only in the lady beetle's life cycle. So we're going to put it only underneath the lady beetle section of the Venn diagram. Okay, let's think about nymph. That was a new word that we learned about. And nymph is a phase that the dragonfly goes through. I'm going to put that underneath only dragonfly. Okay, pupa. Let's go back. This one's a little bit tricky. We've discussed pupa quite a few times. Okay, adult, laying eggs, nymph, molt. It's not going to be the dragonfly. Eggs, larval stage, pupa, right there. So we're going to put that under lady beetle, and that is letter E. Okay. Answer choice E, I think, is pretty obvious because we all know that at the end of their life cycles, they are considered, once they're fully grown, adult. Okay. Ooh, now it's going to get a little bit tricky. Let's talk about answer choice F, letter F, laid on a leaf. Okay, dragonflies, if you look back on the previous slide, there is some water that's right here. Okay, and where does it look like the dragonfly is laying her eggs? Underneath water. Okay, and we've already learned that lady beetles lay their eggs underneath the backside of leaves. Okay, so that's one thing that they have that's not similar as well. Where a lady beetle lays her eggs on a leaf. Okay. Letter G, the offspring look like the adult. Offspring means the babies or the young version, okay, the younger stage. Okay, the offspring look like the adult. Let's go back, okay? Here we have the nymph, which is going to be the offspring of the dragonfly versus the adult. We said that they kind of look similar. They don't look exactly the same, but they kind of do. Whereas the larval stage, this young stage of the lady beetle, looks absolutely nothing like the adult. So on that one, we would put that only the dragonfly's offspring look like the adult. That is letter P. Offspring look like adult. And I forgot to mention, guys, if you want to follow along with me, then this is on page, oh my goodness, what page is this on? Let me find it really quickly for you. This is going to be on page 96. Okay, so we went through this together on the top, and now we're going through together and doing the Venn diagram on page 96. All right, let's get back to our lesson. Okay, so we said that the offspring of the dragonfly looks like the adult version. It's not exactly the same, but they kind of look similar. Okay. And we also said that the offspring of the lady beetle do not look anything like the adult. So we're going to put H on offspring do not look like it. Okay, let's look at J, wing. If we look back, we can see that both of them do have wings. This guy's wings are hidden underneath her exoskeleton, okay? And this guy clearly has wings. So we would say that they both have that in common. They both have wings. So I'm going to put J in the middle. Okay. And then we also mentioned earlier that the dragonfly lays her eggs in the water, whereas the lady beetle lays hers on the leaf. All right, guys, now I want you guys to go to your Learning at Home resources, okay? And I want you to go to, why do I keep going? And I want you guys to go to page 99. Okay, we're gonna answer one question together. That's gonna be question number 2. And then I'll tell you guys afterwards the questions that y'all are gonna be responsible for that I'm gonna be grading on your Google form for this week, okay? So question number 2 says, which statement is true about the grasshopper and dragonfly life cycle? Ooh, so now we're talking about grasshoppers and dragonflies. Okay, which statement is true? So we're looking for the one that is a statement that is valid. That makes sense. Okay. A says the grasshopper offspring look like the adult. So let's think about our chart. And here's the offspring. This is the very young phase of the grasshopper's life. And here's the adult phase. Okay, the grasshopper offspring look like the adult. I would say that that's true. But the dragonfly offspring do not look like the adult. Here's the dragonfly offspring, and here's the adult. And we mentioned earlier that they look a little bit similar. Okay, they don't look completely similar. They do look a little bit similar. So I would say, yeah, that the dragonfly offspring does not completely look like the adult. Okay, not as much as the grasshopper does. I would say that that's true. So maybe that's our answer. B says grasshoppers lay eggs, but dragonflies do not lay eggs. Okay, I'm looking at the chart that they're giving us, and I see that the grasshopper does lay eggs. Okay, so oops. So that is a true statement. But dragonflies do not lay eggs. And I see that the dragonfly does lay eggs. Okay, oops. So that's not going to be our answer because dragonflies do not lay eggs is not a true statement. C says both the grasshopper and dragonfly offspring look similar to the adult stages. Okay, we said that the grasshopper does look like the adult, and then the dragonfly offspring does not look completely the same as the adult. So C cannot be our answer. D says both the grasshopper and the dragonfly have a pupa stage. Okay, I'm looking and I see that neither of these guys have a pupa stage. Okay, so I would not say that both do. So D is not going to be my answer. My answer is going to be answer choice A. All right, guys, I hope that makes sense. What I'm going to be grading you guys on this week is going to be question 1, and I'm going to ask you to explain your thinking. Okay, so make sure that you can verify your answer. Tell me why you chose your answer for this question. Okay, question 3, I'm also going to be grading. Okay, we did 2 together. 4, I'm not worried about. 5, I'm not super worried about. But I am going to test you guys on question 6 as well. And I'm going to ask you to use your academic vocabulary. Okay, and if you need help, go back to the anchor chart that we worked on page 96. Okay, and look at the word bank that it gives you. And use your resources. All of this information you guys can use to help answer question number 6. Oops, gone too far. Okay, so I hope that this video, guys, was informative and that you learned a lot. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on your Google document. All right, guys, I love you and I miss you. Bye, toodles noodles.